I close the gates and I make sure that no one comes in unless they benefit the environment. Okay? Super important. If they benefit the environment, they can come in. 2, if they benefit the individuals in my camp, i.e. the countrymen and women. If they benefit them, you can come in.
Absolutely nowhere.
But almost 4 years ago, you were talking about the need to reduce immigration.
Yes, I was.
You said, I think, now you're talking about free movement. I mean, it doesn't seem that you've learned any lesson from this at all.
We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your incredible support. To celebrate, we're giving away £1,000 to 10 lucky winners, £100 each. Here's how to enter. Subscribe to our channel. Like this post. Drop your postcode in the comments. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll randomly select the winners. Don't miss your chance to be part of the £1,000 giveaway. Start now, and it could be you. The UK's border control is in the spotlight, and not everyone's impressed, especially Ant Middleton, the former leader from the show SAS. He's stepping up, calling out the gaps in how Britain manages its borders under Kier Starmer's watch. Middleton isn't just talking tough, he's pushing for a revival of what he sees as true British culture, which he believes is fading amidst current policies. This stance has caught the attention of veteran broadcaster Andrew Neil, who's throwing his support behind Middleton, critiquing Starmer for what appears to be a series of leadership fumbles.
Wow, actually, if we go back to the bare basics, if we strip it all back down, there's super similarities here. It's not too dissimilar. Yes, it's a lot more complicated, but it's not too dissimilar. Now, the moment those gates are closed, hopefully that individual feels safe. Super important, because safety then trickles into trust. If you feel safe around someone, you can start to trust someone. If you feel safe in a community, you can start to trust that community. If you feel safe in a country, you can start to trust that country.
As Middleton campaigns to tighten borders and bring back a sense of national pride, Neil and many others are nodding in agreement, sensing a shift might be just what the UK needs. This brewing storm of opinions is setting the stage for a deeper discussion on leadership and trust in the UK's political arena. Building on his assertive stance, Ant Middleton isn't just vocal about tightening UK borders, he's on a mission to rekindle what he sees as the fading essence of British identity. His outspoken views resonate with those who feel the nation's culture is being overshadowed by lenient policies and uncontrolled immigration. Middleton points out that without a firm grip on who enters the country, the UK risks losing its cultural heritage and security. His speeches, brimming with calls for action, suggest a robust approach to immigration that aligns with traditional values and a clear sense of national identity. Middleton's campaign is not without its supporters. Many find his straightforward talk refreshing in the often murky waters of political dialogue. His ability to connect with the public on a personal level has sparked a broader conversation about what it means to be British in today's global landscape.
Which is this country that I've fought for, that I've had the privilege of operating at the very highest level. Thank you. With multiple agencies, whether that's intelligence agencies, different special forces, I have seen a topographical view of how the country works. And the key thing is the safety behind it. So I know how it works. I know what needs to be done. And when I look at the borders, I'm almost disgusted that our Royal Navy, the best Navy in the world, no shadow of a doubt, we have the best Navy in the world, are being put on the back burner, not allowed to do their jobs. Not being allowed to do their jobs.
He argues that restoring a sense of pride and belonging among citizens is crucial for the nation's unity and progress. This perspective has ignited discussions in living rooms, pubs, and at the highest levels of government about the balance between open borders and preserving cultural integrity. As Ant Middleton rallies for a cultural revival, his message is clear: the UK must remember and cherish its roots to navigate the future confidently. This call to action challenges not only the policymakers but every citizen to reflect on their role in shaping the nation's identity. It's a compelling narrative that questions the direction in which current leadership is steering the country and whether a shift towards more definitive, culture-conscious policies is overdue. The impact of Middleton's words stretches beyond mere rhetoric. It's a catalyst for debate and potentially significant shifts in public policy and national sentiment. As we delve deeper into the implications of his assertions, the conversation naturally leads to the effectiveness of current leadership under Kier Starmer, setting the stage for critical evaluation of trust and promises in political leadership.
Come in, practice your culture. We are accepting by all means, but we need an umbrella culture. We need that identity, because then we have our rules and regulations, which everyone needs to adhere to. Okay? That way, it stops double standards. And what does double standards create? Again, this is military tactics 101. What does that create? It creates division. Double standards creates division. Okay? That is apparent all over the UK. We are so divided, therefore so controlled.
As Middleton champions a revival of British culture and stricter border control, renowned journalist Andrew Neil has openly aligned himself with Middleton's views, providing a significant boost to the campaign. Neil, known for his no-nonsense interviewing style, has repeatedly highlighted the shortcomings of Kier Starmer's leadership, especially in stark contrast to Middleton's direct and impactful rhetoric. This juxtaposition paints a vivid picture of the current political landscape. When Neil's endorsement of Middleton adds weight to the call for change, Neil's critiques of Starmer are not just passing comments, they are detailed analyses drawn from various interviews where Starmer seemed to struggle with direct questions about his policies and leadership strategies. These moments, captured during Neil's relentless interviews, underscore a perceived lack of preparedness and vision in Starmer, traits that are increasingly scrutinised as the UK faces complex challenges both domestically and internationally.
For those in Europe be able to come to work here, most people thought that was a good idea. When we got to should families be able to live together, broadly speaking, most people agreed with that. And when we got to should people in this country be able to study in Europe, and should people from Europe be able... Now,
and all that adds up to free movement.
Around that, but Andrew, you're missing my point.
The broadcaster's support for Middleton extends beyond personal agreement. It reflects a broader dissatisfaction among the public and the media with how the country is being led. Neil's approach in discussing these issues goes beyond mere criticism. He fosters a deeper discussion about the leadership qualities necessary for the UK's progress. His backing of Middleton suggests that a leader who speaks clearly and acts decisively could better navigate the UK through its current trials. This alignment between Neil and Middleton not only highlights the deficiencies seen in Starmer's approach, but also sets the stage for considering what kind of leadership could truly address the UK's needs. It leads to questions about the future. If not Starmer, then who? Could Middleton be a viable candidate to steer the country toward recovery and renewed pride? The dialogue sparked by Neil's pointed assessments invites the audience to think critically about the direction the UK should take. As we explore the implications of Neil's support for Middleton, the discussion seamlessly connects to broader themes of leadership and trust, paving the way for a deep dive into Starmer's leadership and the public's response to his tenure.
Two-tier, whatever you want to call it, double standards. They're not allowed to do their job. Wow. The best navy in the world aren't allowed to do their job, i.e. protect our waters. So, of course, I haven't got a secure camp. We haven't got a secure camp because we don't know who's coming in. They're certainly not benefiting the environment, they're certainly not adhering to the rules and regulations, and they're certainly not benefiting us as a nation.
Following Andrew Neil's critique and Middleton's assertive campaign, scrutiny intensifies around Starmer's leadership, particularly his track record with promises and progress. Starmer, who stepped up with pledges of change and new beginnings in his New Year's speech, seems to have fallen into a pattern of repeating promises without tangible outcomes. This perceived stagnation sparks widespread concern about his capability to lead effectively and fulfill the commitments made to the public. The growing dissatisfaction is rooted in specific instances where Starmer's initiatives appeared promising on paper but lacked implementation. The public's trust wanes as these unmet promises accumulate, leading to frustration and a longing for leadership that not only promises but also delivers. This sentiment resonates more deeply as citizens recall Middleton's straightforward approach, which contrasts sharply with Starmer's increasingly questioned strategies.
Immigration being a big issue, they're now all in favour of free movement. Have you been listening to the Red Wall?
I have. I'm trying to explain to you what I've been doing for the last 3 years, which is actually going and having those conversations and getting past the soundbite, do you want immigration, yes, no, and having a discussion going on often for an hour or so about the sorts of things that matter to people. And I've done that out of real respect and wanting to engage with people. Because if in the end it just boils down to, do you want immigration, yes, no, we're going absolutely nowhere.
But the erosion of trust in Starmer's leadership extends beyond party lines, touching a common nerve among the populace who crave leadership that can navigate through complexities with clarity and action. This shift in public sentiment is crucial as it reflects a broader demand for transparency and accountability in governance, elements that are perceived to be lacking in Starmer's tenure. As the debate continues, the focus shifts to what effective leadership should look like in the eyes of the electorate. The contrast between Middleton's direct style and Starmer's faltering promises brings to light the essential qualities needed in a leader during times of national uncertainty. This discussion not only challenges Starmer's future in politics, but also sets a benchmark for what the public now expects from their leaders: less rhetoric and more action.
Ant Middleton, he has put a tweet out, put numerous tweets out. My country is calling me once again. I fought for it once before, and I will come back and serve it again. Stand by, stand by. There is numerous tweets going around. Ant Middleton hints at being Reform UK candidate for London Mayor. The British are fighting back. There is loads of them. He put this big one out. Go and have a read of it. It's brilliant. And he did say Kier's got to go whilst all this is happening in Britain. He's rotting from its core. I'm not hearing much from Sadiq Khan, who also, in my opinion, has to go. And he also sends at the end, we're always going to have division with these two at the helm. Secure the perimeter and cleanse from the inside.
This growing skepticism about Starmer's leadership paves the way for a critical discussion on potential alternatives and the qualities they must bring to restore faith and forward momentum to UK governance. Amidst growing critiques of Kier Starmer's leadership and the increasing resonance of Ant Middleton's bold vision for Britain, there is a palpable curiosity about Middleton's potential role in the political arena. The conversation now shifts to whether Middleton, with his decisive stance and clear directives, could be the catalyst for change that many feel the UK desperately needs. His reputation for straightforwardness and action, combined with the public's growing disillusionment with traditional political figures, sets a promising stage for his potential leadership. Middleton's approach, characterized by a direct and engaging manner, seems to connect well with a wide audience. This connection sparks discussions about the attributes of leadership that resonate most with the public: authenticity, decisiveness, and a strong commitment to national values. These are seen as vital in navigating the country through current challenges such as economic recovery and social cohesion.
What's British identity? British culture. What's British culture? British history. Okay? So why is that being eradicated? Why is that being trampled all over? Why aren't we allowed to be the umbrella culture of this country?
The idea of Middleton stepping into a more prominent political role is not just about changing the guard, but redefining what leadership in the UK could look like. His potential candidacy could represent a shift towards leaders who are not only part of political establishments but also bring tangible skills and experiences from outside traditional political spheres. This perspective is intriguing to those who advocate for practical, results-oriented governance. Engaging with this possibility, the dialogue naturally extends into an exploration of the immediate steps Middleton might take should he choose to transition from a public figure to a political leader. This speculative discussion not only keeps the public engaged, but also pressures existing leaders to adapt and respond to the evolving expectations of their constituents. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe to our channel. You can watch more videos from us here.